Audi Q3. We first saw a preview in winter, and we took a few shots of the car at camping showbits, and a lot of people were asking us, where is this beautiful place? Where can I see it? And how can I get there? And of course, now in the summer, we cannot really go there and take a few shots because, well, there's a lot of people there. A lot of tourists, possibly because of our videos. So we came here to this beautiful, very peaceful nature. But believe it or not, we're only 20 minutes from the center of the capital.
But it's not just the environment. The car is also good looking.
Look at the front mask, or the grille, if you're from the US. I like this shiny chrome plastic, because today I saw an Audi Q8 which had that black edition something package, and that meant that everything was black. And I don't like the look of that. It just looked like, I don't know, they crashed the car and then put some spare parts on there which weren't even painted yet. So I do prefer this, and I also very much like the daylight LEDs. Like with the Audi A1, I said that I really like how they're now playing with those shapes, and just like the Audi A1 here, it's got some gaps in between. I don't know, I like it.
Do you remember the first Audi models with daylight LEDs? How we stared, how it was something completely alien and amazing. Well, look how far we've gotten. A bigger SUV requires bigger tires, in this case 235s on 19-inch alloys. Or you can opt for even bigger 255s on the massive 20-inch alloys to really make a statement. The interior of the bigger Audis is similar to the luxury models. The digital instruments, a big infotainment screen, which you can also find in the A6, 7 and 8, and of course, the screen loves dust and fingerprints. The seats have quite a few options. Standard, sport seats, manual or electrically adjusted, heated and wrapped in cloth, Alcantara or leather. Sorry cameraman, you'll be walking home. I'm going for a ride.
I really like how Audi has started really playing with both the exterior and the interior. Yes, these are still fairly serious cars, and they always played with the designs, but I just really like what they're doing right now. For example, inside it's not just a dashboard anymore, it's like a double-decker dashboard, but it's not a double-decker in the sense that there's a space in between, which would be just weird. But you've got this bottom part, the larger one, which has the infotainment screen, this really interesting textured area with the Quattro sign, which actually lights up at night. That's pretty cool. And then on top you've got the Alcantara pleather, which is really nice to the touch, and I think adds to the whole look of the car. It is optional, but you know, it's nice. And then on top of that, you've got like a tiny cliff and another level of the dashboard. I think it really looks nice, it works well, and like I said, it just makes things a little bit more interesting. And generally, I mean, as always I say in Audis, it's an Audi. All of the Audis I've driven are very comfortable, very nice inside, and this one's no different, despite being a slightly taller SUV type vehicle. I've got this large digital instrument cluster here, which is very nice. It's got fonts that are very legible, but also nice to look at. I know I overuse the word nice, there you go. And because I've got the big infotainment screen with the navigation, I can also press the view button, which means that the navigation will be enlarged across the entire display, which looks pretty nice. Oh no, wait a second, it looks pretty cool, pretty awesome. You can also customize this display a little bit on the infotainment screen, but not really that much. It's nothing to write home about. Ugh. First of all, apologies for the crotch cam, but there is a point to this. I wanted to show you just how much space there is in this car. Now I'm sitting at my position, my driving position, quite comfortably, I believe quite safe and right, as it should be. And if I go here to the back, look how nice it is outside. It's going to be pretty stormy though. If we go to the back seats, I'm sitting behind myself pretty much, and look just how much space I have for my legs. I can even extend them a little bit, stretch them. That's really, really good. So if we also check the trunk, how much space is there? Answer, quite a lot actually. This is not a small car, by our standards anyway. So yeah, very nicely done, Audi. So what about seat comfort? Well, these front seats are the optional sport seats. And I have to say, despite the fact that they are slightly firmer because they are sporty, they have so much side support and even like shoulder support up here. They really feel absolutely fantastic. I would be completely happy with this driving sportily or driving long distance. Now the back seats, they are slightly too firm for my taste. I would like them to be a little bit more comfortable, because let's face it, if you're going to be driving sportily, you probably won't be driving your grandma in the back. With this Audi, you can get two different diesel engines. This one is the more powerful 190 horsepower one. You can also get the 150 horsepower version, which I really wouldn't go for, because while I do like this 190 horsepower one quite a lot, we drove it in the Arteon, for example, the Volkswagen Arteon, and I think it's brilliant. But with this larger SUV type thing, I don't know, 85% of the time it's completely fine. You really won't be wanting for power. But once you start overtaking, once you're at higher speeds on the highway and you really want to just punch it, yeah, the engine, well, the transmission shifts down, the engine starts screaming, but not that much is happening. So I would almost go so far as to say you should go for one of the more powerful petrol engines. But of course, then you'll be having a quite higher fuel consumption as well. So, fuel consumption. Well, the good thing about this 190 horsepower diesel engine is that it has a bit of power, but it's also fairly frugal. So I got the average consumption all the way up to 7.4 liters per 100 kilometers, but of course we were thrashing it a little bit. And I also got it as low as 6.1, which I think is not bad at all for a car this size. And of course that average consumption was falling still. So I think if you were driving very, very economically, you could probably get it down to around 5.5 per 100 kilometers. And I think that's a pretty good result for a 190 horsepower diesel and a car this size. I was having a bit of fun in the corners back there. Nothing too extreme, but it is nice to know that even a car this size does not bend overly much. So you can have quite a bit of fun in the corners. But that's the difference. Buying an Audi, it's not just an Audi. You do get this high quality, you do get the comfort and the driving experience, and every Audi so far that I've driven, whether they are small or large or less luxurious, more luxurious, they were always very, very nice places to be inside, and especially nice places to be as the driver. So that's the difference. If someone would say, why would you pay so much for an Audi like this when you can get a Dacia Duster, for example, which is also a slightly larger SUV with four-wheel drive, for example, and some fairly powerful engines now. But that's the thing. With the Dacia Duster with only 130 horsepower, it was getting very scary in the corners because it was bending so much and because its suspension was so soft. With this, you don't really have a feeling so much that you're driving a larger, taller car. So yes, if I was in the market for an SUV this size, I would probably go for an Audi.
The base Q3 starts at 35,000 euros. If you'd rather get a fully equipped vehicle with the most powerful petrol engine and all-wheel drive, you'll be paying around 68,000 euros.